Here we have Josh in Central Park. He is running at a pretty good pace. We can go back real quick, kind of in slow-mo to see his speed. Let's scroll back even a little bit further. And so here he is going pretty fast, nice fast steps. Just looking really fast like that. But here we go, let's check out his pose form. So right about boom, he is in pose, right? Pose position, you want to see your support leg with a bent knee. Foot is basically underneath the hip, maybe a quarter of a frame would be there. Back, you want to see a little bit straighter. It's not too bad though. Arms are it looks a little bit tight, but I'm going to keep those arms loose, elbows back. His hand position is perfect. Head is looking forward. Lead with that chest. So what we want to see is him pulling this support leg off the ground, foot coming underneath the hip. And let's see what happens. So we're going to start it from when his foot that's in the air lands, and this is going to become the support foot. So we want to see him pulling this foot off the ground as soon as possible. The longer this foot is on the ground, the more this foot is going to be landing out in front of his body, and that's going to lead to a slower stride, not the most efficient form. So the foot's almost on the ground. This next frame, he should be landing on the ball of his foot. As he lands, you want to see his hips, general center of mass, over the ball of his foot. Right now his foot is out in front of his body. Let's see what happens next frame. Boom, next frame. His weight, he has weight on the support leg now, landed on the ball of his foot. His hips, if I drew a kind of straight line, the front of his hips is there, not the back of his hips, but you can see his pull leg is starting to come forward. Next frame, I bet he's in pose. Boom, he's in pose. That is really good form. Again, the goal is to land in pose. So when he lands here, he has weight on the ball of that foot. He wants this foot to be underneath the hip, but he actually did a really good job. And he's only one frame, boom, one frame out of pose. That's actually excellent. You can see he's back in that pose position. He wants to get that back up a little bit straighter. Still not bad. Let's do it one more time. See if he's pulling this now, his right leg, his support leg off the ground. Let's see what happens. He's pushing off. This back leg is straight. We want to see that knee bending sooner. Now it's starting to come forward. He's got weight on the ball of his foot. He hasn't landed. Unfortunately, his body weight is behind him still. So now he's about a frame and a half out of pose. It's not bad, but he does want to pull this foot off the ground even sooner. He wants to be pulling it. Start pulling right now. That knee, see that leg is straight. He wants to be pulling, bending that knee, getting this leg underneath that hip a lot quicker, because now he has landed. Weight is on the ball of his foot, but his foot is not underneath his hip yet. His foot is still coming forward. It's going to take about 2 frames, frame and a half for it to come forward. It's not bad, definitely a really good improvement. Just work on that pull and you'll be all set. Good job, Josh. Okay, here we have Josh running at a more normal speed, not a fast speed. Let's just see in real time. Not bad. Alright, so one thing I do notice, let me just get back to the beginning. You want to see him taking 180 steps per minute. I'm not sure if he's there. I need to see a beat counter with it, but right off the bat, you can see his bending from the hips. He's bending forward. He's kind of leading with the head as opposed to leading with the chest. Get that head back, get that chest forward, and watch out for that lean. That you don't want to see that angle in your back. So let's see what happens. So he's got weight on the foot. Alright, so here we go. He's in pose. He's got a pretty good lean. That lean comes from the ankles, again, not from the waist. His head's looking forward. Relax those arms. Relax. Think about loose ankles, loose shoulders, tight core, tight abs. Alright, so let's see what we want to see. Again, pulling this foot up off the ground underneath the hip before the other foot lands, so the leg is still on the ground, still on the ground, still on the ground. You can see he's leaving this leg on the ground, which means he's probably not doing 180 steps per minute, not stepping fast enough. This foot isn't even off the ground yet, and this foot is about to land. And this foot is still on the ground. Josh, you gotta pull that foot quicker, bend that knee, get this foot underneath your hip. The slower you get this off the ground, the sooner this is gonna land. Now he already has weight on this foot, and this foot is only first off the ground, starting to come forward. Let's see what happens now. So got, again, landed, foot still coming forward. 3 frames. It's still not back in pose. Finally back in pose. You can see the foot underneath the hip. He has to work, even though it's a slower pace than his run, he has to work on pulling that foot faster, moving those feet faster. Alright, let's see it one more time. Again, foot's still on the ground, this foot's about to land already. And looks like this foot's on the ground, probably no weight on it yet. Boom, there's weight on the foot. Let's see how many frames it takes for this leg to come forward. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. Now he's back in post. About 3 to 4 frames. Work on that faster pull, and you'll be all set. All right.